I believe every Star Wars fan knows that there's more stories outside of the movies. Often, these stories actually help improve upon the stories in the movies, such as providing background information on characters or organizations or groups or whatever. And I hope to go over some of that. Today, I want to go over the founding of the Jedi Order. And surprisingly, there is a lot of information here. So I really am trying to condense it down to a consumable amount. But yeah, keep in mind that everything I talk about is not canon with the movies, but exists in the expanded universe, which is still alive and well, just not recognized by LucasArts anymore. The beginnings of the Jedi Order can actually be dated back long before the founding of the Galactic Republic, with a species called the Qua. The Qua were one of the first spacefaring species in the galaxy, originating on the planet Dathomir, and decided to go around educating different species in the way of the Force. Now, the Qua did not know, or at least assumed that they did not know, that there was a light or a dark side. They just kind of looked at the Force in a gray aspect. But because of this, the Qua did not really notice that one of the species that they had uplifted, known as the Rakata, were heavily connected to the dark side. And eventually, the Rakata turned on the Qua. And near the end of this war between the Rakata and the Qua decided that they were going to collect all these different Force-sensitive scholars, warriors, poets, just all these different kinds of people who were Force-sensitive, and bring them to this planet called Tython. Now, Tython was a planet extremely connected to the Force, and the Qua figured this would be a great location for this next generation of Force users to train. And so all these different people from different species and religions and beliefs, they all kind of were brought together on this one planet and basically forced by the Qua to learn about the Force. Now, it's believed that these people on Tython were the first ones to discover that there was a dark and a light side, but they still decided that they would learn the gray side, because Tython would react violently when there was a shift in either side of the Force. If one side got too powerful, then there would be horrible storms on Tython. So it was just kind of better for everyone if they all kind of stuck to the gray side of things. And they managed to do a pretty good job at sticking to this philosophy, and they had all these temples spread throughout the planet to teach different aspects of the Force, and they actually taught their own little code that was kind of a mix of the Jedi and Sith codes. This group, or religion, were called the Jedi, not the Jedi, the Jedi. Yep, that's a thing. Whatever. So their code was this: there is no ignorance, there is knowledge. There is no fear, there is power. I am the heart of the Force. I am the revealing fire of light. I am the mystery of darkness, in balance with chaos and harmony, immortal in the Force. The Jedi stuck with their philosophy for some time, building a bunch of temples on Tython to teach different aspects of the Force. That is, until a man who served the Rakata Infinite Empire. This man wielded what is a precursor to the lightsaber, and his weapon intrigued a lot of the members of the Jedi Order, who had for a long time just been using boring, standard, crappy swords. But the problem was, this weapon was fueled by the dark side. So, all the Jedi who wished to wield the weapon would have to give in to the dark side. And so this is when the first kind of divide began between members of the Jedi Order, between those who wanted to follow the dark side in order to wield this badass new weapon, and those who wanted to stay away from the dark side and just wield their standard, boring, lame-ass swords. As time went on, the Jedi Order became more and more divided, with more people beginning to lean towards the light side of the Force and more leaning towards the dark side of the Force. This eventually boiled over into a conflict known as the Force Wars, when a section of the Jedi Order decided to break away because they followed the dark side of the Force and were opposed to the Jedi Order slowly becoming more and more light side oriented. The Force Wars went on for quite some time, and they were only ended with the victory of the Jedi over this dark side faction. And by then, pretty much everybody left in the Jedi Order were followers of the light side. So they changed their order's name to the Jedi Order and changed their code as well. The new code and original code of the Jedi Order was emotion yet peace, ignorance yet knowledge, passion yet serenity, chaos yet harmony, death yet the Force. Now, of course, this was later changed into a bit of a longer version, and it is what the Jedi follow today. There is no emotion, there is peace. There is no ignorance, there is knowledge. There is no passion, there is serenity. There is no death, there is the Force. When Luke Skywalker reestablished the Jedi Order, he kind of modified the code a little bit, changing it to this. Jedi are the guardians of peace in the galaxy. Jedi use their powers to defend and to protect. Jedi respect all life in any form. Jedi serve others rather than ruling over them for the good of the galaxy. Jedi seek to improve themselves through knowledge and training. So that's pretty much all the information I found about the founding of the Jedi Order, kind of condensed into a nice little chunk. There is a lot more that I did not go over. I'll probably go into some of the specifics later on, such as going over the Force Wars again, talking about this Rakata visitor, so on. But next time, I'm going to do a video on the beginning of the Sith, which is going to be a lot longer. I can promise that. But yeah, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And goodbye. What the hell was that?